Hey you guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl T, back again with another video. So you guys, I know you guys are excited by the title of this video. I am going to be giving you guys a story time. But before we get into this video, I do want to introduce to you guys my beautiful cup. I've done had this cup for a little minute now, but I just was able to find the note that came with it because I wanted to shout her out for this beautiful cup that she sent me. So beautiful. So I have the note right here. I could not find it, but I keep all of my notes that you guys send me, so I'm gonna read it to you guys, and I will leave her information on the screen and down in the description of this video so you guys can purchase if you guys would like. It says, "My name is Marie and I'm the owner of Ice Cups. I've been watching your vlogs for a very long time and I'm so happy to see you moving forward in life. You are the strongest person I know and you inspire me and thousands of others to keep their heads up, and hard times don't last long. You inspire me to start this brand, put myself in a better position, and I figured I'd send you a free Ice Cup rhinestone tumbler to test out and give your review on it. Let me know how you like it." Her Instagram is at @icecupsco and website is www.icecupsco.com. I will have it on the screen for you guys. My honest review on this cup, I absolutely love it. Presentation was everything, A1. It actually comes with this chain so I can like wear over my neck if I wanted to. I can do it on my shoulder or even a crossbody, and like it's like a little, you know, like a little bag. So I thought that was super cute. It's very durable. It has not rusted. Like I said, I've had this cup for a while now, you guys. The rhinestones are still intact. It keeps my drink super cold. Right now I have some water in it. And my favorite thing about this cup, obviously, is the color. Oh my god. It keeps the cup super, keeps the water or your drink super cold. So I definitely recommend you guys going over and support my girl Marie and her cup business. She did an absolute beautiful job on this tumbler. Absolutely love it. I'm glad I found that paper because now I can go up there and get some stuff for my friends and families as well. So thank you, Marie, for sending me this lovely tumbler. So before we get into this video, you guys, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and leave me a comment down below. So before we get into the nitty gritty, because I know you guys like, see what's going on, we want to know, blah blah blah, I need to tell you guys a disclaimer. This story time is from 8 years ago, you guys, okay? So this did not just happen. This was from 8 years ago, because I know how people like to watch my videos and they like to go back and try to start stuff up that's not true or create their own storyline. This happened 8 years ago, okay? I was 17, about to turn 18, and yeah, I no longer do this stuff anymore. And yeah, so I'm gonna give you guys the whole rundown from the beginning to the end, and you guys can leave me some feedback in the comments if you want to. You can tell me your experience if you have something, if you had something similar like this happen to you. I was just actually sitting in my bed and I was writing down content ideas, and I don't know, like this just felt so hard on me. Like I had to come and tell you guys, like I've spoke on this topic before many a times. This is not my first time speaking on it, but however, this is my first time bringing it here to you guys on YouTube. And I don't know, maybe it's God speaking to me, like it's somebody out there that needs to see this video. God has dealt with me on this, and I'm just gonna give it to you guys raw. So right now it is 3:45 in the morning, you guys. It's 3 5:45 in the morning. I'm doing this video for you guys because I just couldn't contain myself. Like, I'm like, the Lord is talking to me like, you have to get it out. This is part of my testimony, you guys. This is what made me the person that I am today. So back in 2016, I was about 17 years old at the time, going on 18. And I had this friend. We were friends for a very long time. Like, this was somebody that I considered a sister of mine. She was younger than me by like a year or two. And we just like did everything together. We're gonna name this person Jamie. This is not her real name. This is just what we're gonna name her for the sake of this video. Me and Jamie was like this, okay? Me and Jamie was like this, like inseparable. We would do everything together. And this particular day is like when everything like kind of hit the fan for our friendship, relationship, sistership, whatever you want to call it. So let me bring you guys back to that day. I don't remember the exact day, but I do remember everything that happened, believe it or not. It was like evening time at the time, and I remember calling my brother up, my oldest brother, and I was like, hey, I need some smoke or whatever. And he was like, okay, got you, whatever. He brought me the weed. This wasn't like it was the first time that he ever like brought me weed or anything like that. But I always remember my brother telling me like, hey, you know, when you're smoking this, make sure that, you know, you're not passing different blunts and stuff around with other people that you don't know, and so on and so forth. Like, he would always kind of lecture me on that because he knew like what could happen. And so I was like, yeah, you know, like, this is not the first time I ever smoked before. Like, I don't even know why you're telling me this. Like, why are you telling me this? Like, this is not the first time that I've ever even smoked. He gave me the drugs or whatever, and I smoked them. I smoked a little bit of it, actually, and I was kind of like, you know, just mellow or whatever, and just kind of in a little bit of a daze, just, you know, mad chill, whatever. Like, you know, any good weed will do for you. So I remember my friend Jamie, she texted me, or I texted her. Somehow we ended up linking. Like, she was like, come over, and I came over her house. Mind you, me and her house was like a couple doors down from each other. It wasn't like she was like really far away or anything like that. She literally lived like a couple houses down from me, like 3 or 4 houses down from me on the same block. So I went down to her house or whatever. She had a bunch of people there, but it wasn't like it was people that I didn't know. A lot of them was her family. A lot of them was like friends that she went to school with, because we went to 2 separate schools, but I knew them. So we're all in her room and we're chilling. Mind y'all, I'm already high because I've already smoked before I went down to her house. So got music playing, everybody's in there, we vibing, everybody's smoking. Some of them have their own weed. And I'm just chilling at this point. Like, I already smoked what I was gonna smoke or whatever. She had this little table. Well, it was kind of like a bedside dresser that was at the foot of her bed. And I was sitting on that. Everybody else was kind of like standing around or sitting on her bed, but I was sitting on the dresser. They was like, oh, you got anything to roll up or whatever? I'm like, yeah, I got a little extra whatever my brother had gave me or whatever. So like, here, y'all can roll this up or whatever. We can just pass it around. So while they're rolling up, I'm not even really paying attention to what's going on because I'm already high. So she take what I had, she's rolling it up, and I noticed that she had gave it to one of her other cousins, but they're rolling it up. I don't see nobody putting anything in nothing, anything. Like, I don't see none of that. I don't see none of this happening. All I see is them rolling up this blunt that we're about to smoke. So eventually they start passing the blunt around, and they passing it around. I'm taking, you know, some puffs and stuff. Everybody taking some puffs, everybody chilling or whatever. Mind you, I'm sitting on this little dresser at the foot of her bed, and I don't know if the dresser was empty or not, but it was like, once I had got a couple totes of the blunt, I just started feeling like kind of dizzy, like kind of out of it. And I remember tipping. I tipped off the dresser, like as if it was empty, like it couldn't hold my weight. And like it snapped for me, like I caught myself because I was gonna fall if I didn't catch myself. At that moment, it was like something went off in my head, and I just started looking around at everybody, and everybody just laughing. Like, that's what it gave, like as if I was hallucinating. And I'm like, this is weird. Like, I've never had this effect. Mind you, like I told y'all, I've smoked before. So, like, in my mind, I'm like, what is going on? Like, why is everything so funny? And I start to get paranoid. And everybody looking at me. And I'm looking at everybody. And I'm just like, this is weird as hell. Like, this is weird. I gotta go. Mind y'all, we didn't live far from each other. So at this point, it's like real late. It's real late because I stayed there for a good while. So I got up, I hurried out her room. Her room was on the second floor, so I had to go down the stairs. I ended up going out the front door, and as I was trying to get to the front, like get out the front door, like I'm jiggling the door handle trying to get out. Like, I couldn't unlock it. Like, my mind was just going so fast. Like, I could not stay calm. And I'm jiggling it, trying to twist the lock, open the door, but I couldn't get it. And I don't remember who followed me down the stairs, one of her brothers or one of her cousins or one of her friends. But they ended up opening the door for me. And so I ended up going out the door. And, like, I remember people, I don't know who they were, but it was obviously somebody from the house, and they were like, yo, you good, you good? And I just was like ignoring them, and I just went home. Went up the stairs to my house, and it was just so crazy that the door was unlocked. My back door was unlocked. I was able to get in the house without waking anybody up. I went straight to my room. The whole house was dark, y'all. It kind of felt like a dream. And so the whole house was dark. I went through the kitchen, through the living room to my room. And immediately once I got to my room, I stripped out of all my clothes. I think I only had on my bra, my underwear, and my socks. And I got in my bed and I just tried to pray. I just tried to pray so hard to God, like, Lord, whatever this is on me, like, Lord, just take it off of me. I tried to sleep it off, but it just was getting the best of me. Like, I couldn't. I want to say I laid there for probably like a good 2 to 3 minutes, but I could not shake it, y'all. So something was like, get up. So I got up and I went to my mom's room, and I went in my mom's room and I got in the bed with her. I'm thinking that if I get in the bed with her, like, that will comfort me enough to bring me off of this high that I was on. It didn't work. So I kept tossing and turning, tossing and turning, tossing and turning. And eventually I woke my mom up. She didn't even know I had gotten to the bed with her. So I'm shaking her. I'm like, Mom, wake up. Mom, wake up. Mom, wake up. Please, Mom, wake up. Wake up. And so she like, what's wrong, Tiana? What's wrong with you? I was like, Mom, just pray with me. Pray with me. Please, Mom. Please pray with me, Mom. She like, what's going on? So she turns the light on. And she said when she looked at me, she's like, my eyes was just like big and like bloodshot red. And so she don't even know what's going on, but she like, girl, you just high. And I'm like, no, Mom, please just pray with me, Mom. Please just pray with me, because it was something on me that I did not know was on me, and I needed to get it off of me. So my mom's still thinking like I'm playing around, like this is a joke and stuff like that. And now at this point, like, I'm hallucinating like really, really bad. So I go up to her dresser. She had this dresser similar to mine. I don't know if you guys can see it from right here, but it was a dresser similar to this with a mirror on it. And I went up to the mirror, and everything that was on her dresser, I swiped it off. I swiped it off. And I don't remember if I said anything, but I just remember swiping everything on her dresser off the dresser. And I was looking in the mirror at myself, and I was just saying all types of crazy things like that wasn't me. I don't even remember what I was saying, but I remember, I don't know the word to use, but I just remember like the experience. But I can't tell you guys what I said, if that makes sense. I don't even know if they were actual real words. At this point, like, I'm jumping up and down, my hands on the dresser, jumping up and down, and I cannot contain myself. So a part of my mom's dresser was sticking out at the bottom because my mom had a bunch of clothes, like crazy bunch of clothes. And she, like, her dresser drawers wouldn't sit flush to the dresser, so some of them would always like be sticking out. And so the corner of one of her dressers had ended up catching my knee, and my knee swiped it, and I ended up with a big old gash on my right knee. I will insert pictures for you guys to see. And this scar is still with me today, and I didn't even feel it because my adrenaline is going so bad. My mom said I ended up picking up the Bible. She had a Bible on her dresser, the Bible that I had swiped off the dresser. I picked it up, she said, and I slammed it on the dresser. And at that point it was like, okay, like something is wrong. So eventually she caught a hold of me, and she's like, okay, you have to calm down, relax. So she ended up getting me where I was up against the wall, kind of close to her doorway, and I ended up sliding down to the floor, and she didn't notice that I had cut my knee. And then when she saw it, she was like, oh my God, your knee, what is going on? And so my mom at this point now, she's like panicking, like, what am I to do? And it was like I was in reality. I was here in reality, and like next minute I wasn't. So that's why I can remember so much, because I was like snapping in and out of it. My mom was like, you're just high, you're extra high or whatever, not knowing to give me milk. So she never gave me any milk. She ended up calling the ambulance. So once the ambulance came, she had got me from her room to the living room, and I was sitting on the couch waiting for the ambulance to show up. Once the ambulance people had came, they was like, hey, like, what is she on? Did she take anything? What did she smoke? And my mom can't tell them anything because she doesn't even know. She was like, did you give her anything? And she was like, no, I didn't give her anything. I had nails on at the time, y'all, and I literally went to each nail and bit them all off like it was nothing. I couldn't even believe I did it. And I'm sitting in the chair in the living room, just rocking back and forth, rocking back and forth, just rocking back and forth. Eventually they take me on a stretcher into the ambulance. That's the only part that I kind of vaguely remember. I remember going outside into the ambulance, and the sky was very, very dark, and all I remember was seeing stars. And I got into the ambulance, and I don't remember what happened in the ambulance. I don't know if they gave me something to sedate me or calm me down, but from the time I got into the ambulance into like the ER, into like recovery, I don't remember anything. So once I noticed that I was at the hospital, the way I was waking up, it kind of reminds me of something in the movie, like when you're in a coma or something, when the person is in a coma and they're trying to slowly like open their eyes, and it's like kind of blurry and trying to like understand what's going on. That's kind of how it felt. Like, I'm not capping y'all. That's how it felt. And as I was opening my eyes trying to like understand what was going on in my world, I remember them saying 17-year-old black female rushed to the hospital from PCP. That's what they said. PCP. I'm like, PCP? And I did not forget that. That was key information that I needed. I said, PCP? I said, what is that? Nobody ever told me like what that was or anything like that. From there, I remember going into a room where they had to stitch my knee up. I ended up with 16 stitches on my knee. Once I had came down off of my high was when they released me. Once I was able to get released from the hospital, the first thing I did was get my phone and look up what PCP was, because I had no clue what that was. Once I Googled it, it said PCP, also known as embalming fluid. Embalming fluid, if you guys don't know, is what they put in dead people when they're dead, once they die, to embalm their bodies before they go to the church for the funeral. Like, they embalm them so it don't give off any type of smells or anything like that. That's what they lace my weed with. And I know a lot of you guys will be kind of conflicted in the comments, so let me just say this before you guys like go on a whole rant like, oh well, why didn't they freak out? Because when you're already doing a drug for so long, mind you, we don't know what people do on their free time. I'm not around these people 24/7. Neither was I around, you know, my friend Jamie for 24/7. You know, she has her own life, I have my own life, but you know, we did spend a lot of time together. However, whatever she was doing when we weren't together, that was her business. So when you already take a drug and it's no longer getting you high, then you go to another type of drug to get you higher, because that other drug is not getting you as high anymore. So you'll keep going to different depths to get you higher. I wasn't on that level that they were on. That's why nobody else freaked out like I did, because they was already doing that stuff. They was already doing it. It just kind of like, it felt like a stab, like a backstab. Like it felt so bad. And I remember so many times my mom would say, this girl is not for you. I'm getting chills right now. She always tell me, this girl is not for you. And I don't know what it is about parents, but they can tell you if a friend is for you before you can tell yourself. And I didn't want it to be true so bad. But God will always show you. God works in mysterious ways. And I didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to believe it. But I had to experience it for myself, for me to know, like, this person is not for you. And it's just so sad that it had to happen this way. So once I learned what PCP was, I had my mom drop me off to the girl's house. And I think it was probably like early afternoon. And I went to her house. I knocked on her door because I wanted to confront her about it. I'm like, you know, I wanted to know, was this intentional? Was it an accident? Like, I just wanted to know. I wasn't trying to make any trouble for anybody. I just really just truly wanted to know, like, what happened? And so I went there and I was like, hey, you know, last night they found PCP in my system. I was like, do you know what that is? And she was like, no. I was like, that's embalming fluid, the stuff that they put in dead people. I was like, they found that in my system. We was smoking that. And she just basically trying to make it seem like, no, that's not what happened. I'm tripping and this, that, and the third. And I knew at that point she could not be trusted. Our friendship literally just went down the drain from that. I was just like, well, you know, the paperwork ain't gonna lie. The doctors ain't gonna lie. So I just kind of went on my merry way about it. And at the time, my mom was working for the bus company and she was driving buses. So my mom wanted to keep an eye on me. So I stayed with her. All right, y'all. So my camera had died the other day and I did go ahead and actually record on my phone the rest of that video. But somehow I deleted the footage. So I'm about to finish off the video for you guys. So the last clip, I was saying that I ended up staying with my mom the rest of the day that day on her school bus. And I kind of just sat there and all of the feelings that I was feeling, like I could not believe that this girl just backstabbed me. She literally basically lied to my face, like she didn't know nothing about this going on and stuff like that. And then not only that, but me and her worked together. So when I would go to work, like I would just feel like a weird vibe from people because people were looking at me certain ways and stuff, like as if she had already been talking about the situation. And I just felt like just totally betrayed. But I say all of this to say this experience was so traumatic to me that I literally said to God, I said, Lord, if you take whatever's going on with me when I was going through that episode, whatever's going on, if you just take it away, I will not do it again. I have never put my mouth to any drug ever since then. Like no cigarettes, no weed, no nothing. No type of drug. I have not done no type of drug since that day. And then sometimes like I still have moments where I feel like I don't even know if this is real life, because that's the type of effect that those type of drugs will have on you. Like sometimes I sit in silence sometime and be like, yo, is this really like real life? Is this reality? Or am I like in my head, am I somewhere else? And I just, you know, that I can't come out of. And so the only thing that gives me peace of knowing that I'm in reality is the fact that there's a God. Like I know that God still has me. You know what I mean? Like I feel like if I did not know that there was a God, I probably would go insane. And so God really just showed me who was really a snake. You know, and I wish I would have listened to my mom. That way I wouldn't have had to experience this. But I feel like God puts you through things on purpose to get you to understand and see the bigger picture, so other things don't continue to happen in your life. It's like he pushed you through this big test so that way you don't have to go through all those other, you know, little trials and tribulations, because this was like drastic for me. Like, this was something that like changed my whole outlook on life. But I'm super grateful for it. I thank God that, you know, I was put in a situation like that, because now I'm very cautious of like the people that I entertain, the people that I'm around, energies, spirits. I have discernment. I ask God who is for me, who is against me. And this is something that's just going to stick with me. And I just thank God that he favored me enough to keep me. You know, obviously there was a purpose for my life, right? And so I'm just so grateful that I'm able to sit here and give you guys this testimony. I don't know who this was for, but I'm sure it's for somebody out there. And I hope that this can resonate with you, and that you don't make the same mistakes that I made, or it makes you second guess doing certain things that you shouldn't do. Because I could have lost my life that night. I was that close of losing my life, but I feel like if I did not cry out to God, I probably wouldn't be here. So yeah, I just say all of this to say, pay attention to the people you're around. Do not ignore the signs. If your mama tells you, or somebody close to you is like, give you a little nudge like, hey, this is not for you, listen to them, believe them. You know, that's your warning. A lot of the times a mother's intuition never lies. Okay, you guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. If you guys want to hear any more story times, let me know, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Don't forget to stay safe, stay blessed. Bye.